Imagine hearing the words you never wanted to believe. Heartland Season 19 will be the last. After nearly 2 decades of love, loss, and unforgettable moments at the ranch, the chapter that fans thought might last forever is finally closing. This isn't just the end of another TV show. This is the conclusion of a journey that has been part of so many lives. Generations of families grew up with Heartland, turning it into more than just entertainment. It became a tradition, a safe place, and a reflection of values many hold close to their hearts. Now, the heartbreaking truth is here, and it's time to look back at how this incredible ride began, what it achieved, and why its end feels so personal to millions of viewers around the world. For those who may not remember, Heartland began as a small Canadian drama back in 2007, adapted from Lauren Brooks' beloved book series. At first, it seemed like just another family show set on a ranch, but within only a few episodes, people realized it was something special. It wasn't just about horses or farm life. It was about healing, family bonds, second chances, and the strength it takes to move forward even when life knocks you down. The story of Amy Fleming discovering her gift with horses after the sudden death of her mother was raw and relatable, and it immediately gave the series an emotional core that set it apart from others. Over time, Heartland didn't just grow into the longest-running one-hour drama in Canadian television history. It became a piece of television history worldwide. Fans from all corners of the globe tuned in. Whether they lived in Canada, the United States, or across Europe and Asia, Heartland became a comfort show for many, something to turn on when the world felt too heavy, something that reminded people of the beauty of simple living, of family ties that can't be broken, and of finding hope after loss. The characters became more than just faces on a screen. Amy, Ty, Jack, Lou, Tim, and so many others felt like part of our own families. We celebrated their weddings, cried through their tragedies, and cheered during their triumphs. And that is why the idea of Heartland ending feels almost impossible to process. It's not just a series finale, it's a personal goodbye for millions of people. Over the years, Heartland proved that you don't need flashy gimmicks or wild twists to hold an audience for nearly 20 years. Instead, it focused on slow-burning storytelling, real emotional depth, and authenticity. The landscapes of Alberta became as much a character as the people themselves, grounding the series in a sense of place and tradition that could never be replicated elsewhere. Every horse, every sunrise, every heartfelt talk by the fireplace became a reminder that storytelling doesn't have to be loud to be powerful. The show thrived on the little moments, the look between Amy and Ty after a long day, Jack's wisdom that always came at just the right time, or the quiet strength of a family sticking together no matter what. These moments built the legacy of Heartland and made it a once-in-a-lifetime series. Now, as the final season approaches, fans are faced with both gratitude and grief. Gratitude for the 19 seasons that gave us countless memories and role models to look up to, but grief knowing that no new stories will come after this. The bond between viewers and Heartland is rare, and it's the reason why the announcement of the end has sparked such strong emotions across the world. People are already preparing themselves for the last ride, the final lessons, and the ultimate goodbye. But before we look ahead at how the series might close, it's important to honor where it began, and why its legacy will never truly end. Every long-running story eventually faces the question, when is the right time to say goodbye? For Heartland, that moment has finally come with Season 19 being confirmed as the end. And while fans may feel shocked, there are deeper reasons behind this decision. A series that has lasted almost 2 decades doesn't just end on a whim. It happens because the creators, cast, and producers feel the timing is right to close the chapter. The truth is, Heartland has always been about authenticity, about telling stories that feel real and meaningful, and sometimes the most powerful choice is to step away before the magic begins to fade. Ending on Season 19 ensures the show leaves behind a strong legacy instead of stretching the story thin. One of the most important factors behind this ending is creative closure. Heartland has been weaving its stories carefully since day one, and by this point, nearly every character has gone through a full-circle journey. Amy, once the young girl learning to carry her mother's legacy, is now a strong woman raising her daughter, passing down the same lessons of healing and resilience. Jack, the steady rock of the family, has given his wisdom through every storm, and even characters like Lou and Tim have found new meaning in their roles as parents and leaders of the ranch. 19 seasons mean 19 years of growth, heartbreak, rebuilding, and renewal. The writers and showrunners know that leaving the story at this point allows the family's arc to end with dignity, rather than dragging on just for the sake of keeping it alive. Another undeniable reason is the reality of production itself. Filming a series like Heartland is not easy. It demands months of shooting in often harsh weather conditions, requires working with animals daily, and places immense pressure on cast and crew to keep the quality consistent year after year. After nearly 2 decades, it is natural for both the actors and the team behind the scenes to feel the weight of that responsibility. Some cast members may be ready to pursue new opportunities, while others simply want to step back and live their lives outside the constant spotlight of a long-running series. The show's ending doesn't come from failure, but from respect for the story, for the people who brought it to life, and for the audience that deserves a conclusion crafted with care rather than exhaustion. There's also the emotional reality of Heartland without Ty. The departure of Graham Wardle after season 14 marked one of the show's biggest turning points. While Amy's journey continued to shine, the absence of Ty left a gap that could never fully be replaced. The writers did a remarkable job of honoring his memory and showing how Amy grew stronger through grief. But many fans still feel that Ty's loss shifted the entire dynamic of the series. In many ways, Season 19 being the final chapter feels like the natural point to finally lay the Fleming-Borden love story to rest, giving Amy and Lyndy the closure they deserve while allowing fans to carry the memory of Ty as an integral part of the show's legacy. Another layer to this decision lies in the television landscape itself. Heartland has become a rare treasure in an industry that often values short-term trends over long-term storytelling. For a family drama to last this long is almost unheard of, and it's a testament to both the dedication of fans and the timeless themes of the series. By ending now, Heartland avoids the trap of overstaying its welcome in a world where audiences are constantly being pulled in new directions by fresh shows, streaming platforms, and endless content. Choosing to end at Season 19 allows Heartland to remain something rare and unbroken, respected series that never lost its heart. And perhaps the most powerful reason of all is this: the show wants to honor its audience with a proper farewell. Fans have poured their love into Heartland for nearly 2 decades, and the creators understand the importance of not leaving the story unfinished or abruptly cut short. Ending with Season 19 gives them the chance to carefully plan the final arcs, to bring back themes and emotions from the very beginning, and to create a season filled with nostalgia, healing, and meaningful goodbyes. Instead of fading away quietly, Heartland is choosing to go out with a finale that feels earned, leaving its viewers with closure rather than unanswered questions. So while it may be painful to face the truth, the reasons behind Heartland's ending show wisdom rather than loss. It's about choosing the right moment to step back, about giving both the story and its audience the ending they deserve. Season 19 isn't just the conclusion of a television show, it's the final chapter of a journey carefully built over 19 unforgettable years. And its ending will be just as meaningful as its beginning, when news broke that Heartland would end with Season 19. It wasn't just fans who felt the heartbreak, the cast themselves were deeply shaken. For nearly 20 years, these actors haven't just played characters on a screen, they've lived and grown alongside them. Amber Marshall, Sean Johnston, Michelle Morgan, Chris Potter, and so many others became family, both to each other and to millions of viewers. Saying goodbye to Heartland isn't just about leaving behind a job, it's about closing a chapter of their own lives. Imagine spending almost 2 decades on one set, surrounded by the same people, watching your own life milestones overlap with the lives of your characters. That's what makes their goodbyes so emotional. and why their reactions have been filled with both tears and gratitude. Amber Marshall, who has carried the heart of the show as Amy Fleming, expressed in past interviews how deeply connected she feels to the role. Amy wasn't just a character for her, she became part of Amber's identity. From the first moment Amy discovered her gift of healing horses to the trials of love, loss, and motherhood, Amber grew into the role with a grace that mirrored her own journey. For her, the ending of Heartland is like saying goodbye to an old friend, one who shaped her career, her worldview, and even her fans' expectations of her. When she addressed the news of the series ending, Amber focused not on sadness but on gratitude, thanking the audience who supported her through Ty's death storyline, through Amy's growth as a mother, and through all the years when Heartland felt like more than fiction. Still, behind her words, fans could feel the ache of someone preparing to let go of something that defined nearly half her life. Sean Johnston, the beloved Jack Bartlett, has always been seen as the soul of Heartland. His steady voice, wise advice, and endless patience made him more than a character. He was like a grandfather to millions. Johnston has often shared how deeply he treasures the role, and his goodbye is perhaps the most emotional of all. For him, Jack isn't just a rancher with endless wisdom. He represents a way of life that Sean himself admires and respects. Fans know that when Johnston says goodbye, it will not be easy. He has often reflected on how proud he is of Heartland's longevity and its impact on families across the globe. Saying farewell to Jack Bartlett will be like leaving behind a part of himself, and his gratitude for the audience is sure to shine through in his final words to fans. Michelle Morgan, who has portrayed Lou since day one, has had her own journey of transformation. She started as Amy's protective sister, often too busy with her own ambitions, but over 19 seasons she grew into a leader, a mayor, and a mother who balanced strength with vulnerability. Off-screen, Michelle has often spoken about how Lou's journey mirrored her own as she balanced acting with directing, motherhood, and personal growth. The end of Heartland represents not just the closing of a character arc, but also a chance for Michelle to reflect on how Lou shaped her personally. Her reaction to the show's ending has been one of pride in the stories they told, in the lives they touched, and in the friendship she built with cast and crew that will last long after the cameras stop rolling. Chris Potter, who plays Tim Fleming, has perhaps had one of the most controversial yet rewarding arcs on the series. Tim was far from perfect, stubborn, flawed, often making mistakes, but fans came to love him because he was real. Over the years, Tim's growth into a more responsible father and grandfather gave the show depth, showing that even the most broken people can change. Chris has acknowledged how rare it is for an actor to explore one character for nearly 2 decades, and his farewell will be bittersweet. For him, Heartland was never about perfection, it was about redemption. And Tim gave him the chance to show audiences that no matter how far you fall, there's always a chance to climb back up. Beyond the main cast, supporting actors, and even guest stars have shared their heartbreak at the thought of closing this chapter. Alicia Newton, who grew up on screen as Georgie, has described how Heartland became her second home, shaping her teenage years into adulthood. Jessica Stain, Gabrielle Hogan, Carrie James, and so many others have echoed the same sentiment. This wasn't just a job, it was a family. Crew members, directors, writers, and horse trainers all became part of something bigger, something rare, and their goodbyes will be just as heartfelt as those of the actors in front of the camera. The emotional goodbyes go beyond press releases and social media posts. Many of the cast have already hinted at personal tributes they plan to share behind-the-scenes memories, favorite moments, and heartfelt thank yous to the fans who stood by them for 19 seasons. These messages are expected to pour out as the final season airs, giving fans one last connection to the people they've watched for years. It's a reminder that while the show may end, the bond between cast and fans will remain. In the end, the reactions of the Heartland cast prove something powerful. This was never just another TV show. It was a shared journey, a second home, and a part of their lives that will never fade. Their goodbyes may be filled with tears, but they are also filled with love for the story, for each other, and for every single fan who made 19 seasons possible. Asterisk Season 19 of Heartland isn't just another season, it's the last ride. The final stretch of a journey that has carried us through laughter, heartbreak, and unforgettable memories for nearly 2 decades. Fans everywhere are wondering, what can we expect in this ultimate chapter? The truth is, when a series this beloved comes to its conclusion, the writers know they have a responsibility to give fans closure, hope, and one final set of stories that honor everything that came before. That's exactly what Season 19 promises, a carefully crafted ending filled with emotional reunions, deep character growth, and possibly even shocking twists that no one will see coming. One of the biggest questions fans have is about Amy Fleming. Since day one, Amy has been the soul of Heartland, a girl who discovered her mother's gift for healing horses and grew into a woman who carried the weight of both love and loss. After Ty's tragic passing, Amy's story shifted toward resilience, motherhood, and rediscovering who she was without her partner. Season 19 will likely bring Amy's arc full circle. Viewers can expect to see her continuing to mentor her daughter Lyndy, teaching her the same lessons about compassion, patience, and strength that Marion once passed to Amy. But beyond that, fans are eager to know if Amy will find a new sense of happiness, whether that comes in the form of love, peace, or simply a renewed connection to the ranch. This season could show Amy finally embracing her independence while still honoring Ty's memory, proving that moving forward doesn't mean forgetting the past. For Jack Bartlett, the heart and anchor of the family, Season 19 is bound to be especially powerful. Jack has been the voice of wisdom since the very beginning, guiding Amy, Lou, Tim, and everyone else through the storms of life. But after 19 seasons, even Jack's story may be reaching its conclusion. Many fans speculate that Season 19 could include Jack passing the torch to the next generation, perhaps to Amy, or even Lyndy, ensuring that the ranch remains in the hands of those who carry his same values. Some fear that Jack's journey might end with a heartbreaking farewell, while others hope the writers will keep him alive and strong to show that some legacies never fade. Either way, Jack's presence in this final season will remind us why. Heartland has always been about family first. Lou's story is another thread that fans are eager to see tied together. As Amy's older sister, Lou has always struggled to balance her ambitions with her responsibilities to her family. Over the years, she has grown from a protective sibling into a leader, a mayor, and a mother who constantly juggles her roles. In Season 19, we can expect to see Lou reflect on all that she has built and perhaps finally find stability in her personal life. Whether this means cementing her relationship with Mitch, focusing on her daughters, or rediscovering herself as a woman beyond titles and responsibilities, Lou's journey is sure to resonate with fans who have watched her battle between independence and family ties since the beginning. Tim Fleming, the flawed but evolving father, is another character whose story demands closure. For years, Tim was seen as the reckless, unreliable one, constantly making mistakes and struggling to prove himself. Yet over the seasons, he worked hard to rebuild his relationships with Amy, Lou, and the rest of the family. In the final season, Tim's redemption arc could reach its peak. Fans may see him solidify his role as a dependable father and grandfather, finally earning the respect he long sought. Season 19 may also challenge him with new struggles, perhaps testing whether he has truly changed or if his old habits return in times of stress. Either way, Tim's last chapter will be a defining part of how Heartland closes its story of healing and forgiveness. The younger generation, Georgie, Lyndy, Katie, and the other kids who grew up before our eyes will likely be at the forefront of Season 19 as well. Georgie's journey in particular has been one of strength and ambition, chasing her dreams as an equestrian while learning to navigate love and responsibility. Fans are hoping to see her return for this final season, bringing her story full circle and perhaps leaving viewers with a glimpse of her future. Lyndy, still young but already showing the same spirit as her mother, may be given more focus as the writers prepare to symbolically hand the reins of the Heartland Ranch to the next generation. These younger characters represent the future, and Season 19 could leave fans with the comforting sense that while one chapter ends, Another is just beginning. Of course, no final season would be complete without surprises. Writers may bring back familiar faces for emotional reunions. Characters we haven't seen in years returning to say their goodbyes. Weddings, births, or even unexpected tragedies could shape the season, reminding fans that Heartland has always been about the cycles of life. The possibility of a shocking twist, whether it's a farewell to a beloved character or an unexpected change to the ranch, keeps audiences on edge, waiting to see how this family's final story unfolds. But at its core, Season 19 will likely remain true to what has always made Heartland special: its authenticity, its heart, and its focus on healing. The season will not just wrap up storylines, it will honor the values that carried it for nearly 2 decades: love, resilience, family, and the unbreakable bond between humans and animals. Fans can expect plenty of moments that bring them to tears, but also scenes that leave them smiling, holding on to the hope that while the show may end, its lessons will live on forever. Season 19 isn't just the last chapter.